What's up, dudes? It's a little earlier than usual. I arrived here at the yard a little earlier this morning because I had to do a quick weld job on something. So I have time to do a cut test. This is the Kansept Main Street, the crossbar lock version, with laminate carbon fiber handle scales and 154 cm blade steel. We got titanium hardware, blue anodized studs and hardware and stuff like that. Deep carry pocket clip that I actually really like. Besides the fact it's not inset, I think it's a really good looking clip and seems to be comfortable in hand, but we will see once we start cutting. I think this is a pretty badass design. I really dig it. The neutral handle, this wicked ass Warncliffe or sheep's footy Warncliffe. It's pretty thin behind the edge. We measured it at the unboxing. I think it was like, it was like 16 and 17 thousandths around there. So not too bad at all. Not too thick at all. The sharpening trail plunge grind is really done well. So far, I really can't think of any complaints about the knife, having not cut with it yet. It's a crossbar lock, so it's not super snappy or anything, but for a crossbar lock, it does have pretty good thumb flicking action. Reverse flicking action is easy to hit that thumb stud with your middle finger back there. Super free swinging blade. It's on bearings. Just pull down the crossbar lock, it goes home super fast and easy. And mostly I just really dig the design, man. I really dig it. Obviously it's going to be a super good utility cutter. Let's go out and see how well it slices, how well it does with everything. Let's do it. And here we go. The Kansept Main Street. This knife costs $79, which I think is a pretty fair deal for what you're getting, man. I have no problem with that price whatsoever. You're getting a crossbar lock. It comes in different handle materials. This one just happens to be a carbon fiber G10 sort of thing, laminate thing. But handle options, 154 cm blade steel. I have no problem with $79. So let's see how it performs. We're cutting through some cardboard here, roughly 15 to 20 feet of cardboard that we're going through here. And it's blazing through this stuff. Not a problem. Like I said, around 15 to 16 thousandths behind the edge. Really not a problem. I did get snagged up in the sharpening choil once. The cardboard kind of snagged up in there. Since there's not a finger choil area in the sharpening choil, you can't really put your finger there to guard the cardboard from falling in there, but just pay attention and you're fine. Let's do some utility cuts. This is going to be, this knife's specialty right here. And it's destroying. Absolutely destroying. Wait until you see we get to the turns too. So this knife is going to do great with this kind of thing, great with slicing, but you'll see when we get to the chopping, not so great, just because of the lack of belly. So we're going through some turns here, and I didn't even have to break it out. It was cleanly cut right from the start. And so I went ahead and tried some kind of tighter turns. And again, didn't even have to pull it apart. It was just cut right from the start and really cleanly. So this just means it's a really nice fine tip. You can go around curves, turns really easily. Let's see how our edge is holding up after the cardboard. Not too bad. Definitely a little bit of dulling, but we're still cutting paper. The glove test. Let's roll this up and cut some leather. As I was saying, this type of cutting, the Wharncliffe is not going to be great for it. The reason being is, I'll demonstrate it better here in a minute, but really the only, at the tip back, maybe a 1/4 inch really is ever in contact with the surface. So that's really all that you have cutting for you, is just like a tiny little portion of the edge. Whereas if you have belly, you can kind of rock your blade along the belly and use much more of the edge. With the Wharncliffe, your knuckles hit the table before you can get it down that far. Some rubber tubing. And you can see the tip hits the wood, and then I kind of have to drag it back to be able to cut through the tubing. With the belly, all we do is just rock back, and it cuts all the way through. Cecil rope. This is the best demonstration of what I'm talking about here. Again, the first, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of the blade is the only thing in contact with the surface, which means the only thing that is cutting, really. You can see here my knuckles hit before you can get the whole edge down on the surface. So that's just how Wharncliffes are, They're really good at utility cutting, like you saw, going through curves, stuff like that, even slicing, It was a great slicer through the cardboard. This is where it's just not the ideal blade shape, and you can absolutely get away with it, but there's just, a knife with, a little bit of belly would be better. Like you saw in the Native 5 Maximet versus the Shaman 15V video a day or two ago. You saw those knives, even though they had nice low tips, they were great at utility cutting, but they also had a little bit of belly. Cutting paper, we're still doing it, but we've definitely suffered some dulling here. And that's to be expected. This isn't a super steel or anything. Definitely would rather have this 154 cm over Nitro V, for example, for sure. I'd rather have this over 14C as well, personally. So I got a fresh piece of paper, and we are still cutting, but I don't know. Depending on how you look at it, it could be classified as a fail there. So there you go. Let's try the strap, the 2-inch wide ratchet strap, heavy duty stuff. And we got a little over halfway. Now this is an instance where no belly or little belly is actually a good thing. Because sometimes with too much belly, you'll end up slipping out of your cut before the edge has time to really bite into the strap and do its cutting. So this is actually a great blade shape for this. And we're getting about halfway. But you'll see in a minute here that's not due to blade shape, that's due to sharpness, because we're going to go back to the strap after I strop here in a minute, and I'll show you what I mean. So back to the paper one last time, and we're pretty much not cutting paper anymore. Also keep in mind this is really thin graph paper. It's thinner than your regular copy paper, so keep that in mind. It's harder on these on this type of test. So let's strap her on up. One of the reasons I like 154 cm is it straps back really quick, and you get a keen edge back quickly. We're not even doing our full 10 strokes per side. I'm not really counting, but I'm just doing a little bit less than that even. And you'll see here in a minute that we have a big improvement on cutting performance after only a little bit of stropping. Oh yeah, way better. We aren't to where we were before we started the testing though, but definitely big improvement. I'm actually going to go back to the strop for just a few more strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we have a big improvement. So there you go. Let's try the strap again. Let's see what a freshly stropped edge can do to the strap. Strop and strap. So there you go, with a freshly stropped edge way farther, almost all the way through. And so there you go. This is pretty, this is pretty average for, pretty average performance for 154 cm in my book. So, yeah, I would say this performed pretty much very close to what I expected it would. I know this kind of blade shape is great for certain things, not as good for other things, but you can do everything you need to do with it, As far as like an all-around good EDC knife, I would usually pick a Spyderco over something like this, like a Native 5. I know I keep saying it, but it's just perfect for all those types of cutting we did. But, performance isn't everything. And this knife looks super badass, man. I really dig the looks on this thing. And if I can't chop up my rubber tubing as well as I could with my Native 5, I don't really care that much. If I'm cutting up rubber tubing all day, I'll grab my Native 5. But if I want to carry a badass folder that's useful, good at slicing, great at utility cutting, I'll carry this guy. So there you go, folks. The Kansept Main Street. It'll be linked down below. $79. There you go. I'm excited for this to be in my my Budget Tuesday rotation. I'm starting to carry a budget knife on every Tuesday so that they don't get kind of lost by the wayside as they do sometimes. Yeah, it's a good one. There you go, folks. Please like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Alrighty. Later.